If you're a resident of Joburg, then what's your vision for the city? Well, one man wrote exactly about that, Gerald Garner. And Joburgtoday caught up with him at his book launch.
In the discussion tonight and the launch with Alicia, we did speak about the humane city. And I think that is at the tone of my book, is that we want a humane city in which people of all walks of life and ages and backgrounds and races could live. But I do think we could actually write about it even more, about how the city is not buildings, is not streets, is not public spaces, is not infrastructure. The city in the end is people. And although I think I focus on it heavily, more could be said about that.
It felt almost like I was in a brainstorming session with him about how to make our city more livable. And it was really nice to engage, to have the time to engage with this manuscript so intimately, because it really made me think about the concepts he was holding forth. And it made me think about our life in the city, because we live in a really big apartment. For two people, it's actually obscene. We live in a mixed-use, mixed-income building. It made me think a lot about how I live and engage with my neighbors. There are a lot of children in our building, and through Gerald's eyes, I saw what the city must be like for our children. You know, for children who live in the city, we are surrounded by homeless people, and through Gerald's eyes, I got to see how the city is not kind. It's easy for me to get in my car and go into the suburbs, and Gerald's book has inspired me to really start living more in the city.
Talking about Joburg for a living, you know, through our walks, Joburg Places walks and experiences and our storytelling dinners and walking the city, I've always believed in the regeneration of downtown Johannesburg, but I got very frustrated somewhere between 2016 and 2019 when the regeneration dream got deferred, and in many ways lost hope actually about the inner city. But we started among ourselves talking about what Joburg should be in the future and how it could be fixed actually. And it was already in my head by the time the lockdown came that I would want to write a book about this. I thought I'll do it further into the future. But the lockdown created the perfect timing and space to actually write about Johannesburg and to think about our society, because the world is changing, and that gives Johannesburg a chance to change for the better as such. Well, we need to change the narrative of South Africa, because we face so many challenges as a country and as a nation, and I do believe so much of it is the legacy of the past, but we cannot make it an excuse any longer. And our living patterns all over this country are so inefficient, living in sprawling cities and neighborhoods, segregated in many ways still in townships, industrial areas and suburbs, and wasting so much energy on transport, for instance, but secondly, excluding people from society and economy by making them live far away from opportunity. So I really believe the future of society and the economy and everything depends on bringing people together in much closer urban living, where we share public space, where we make more connections, because you cannot lift yourself out of poverty if you are isolated. In the end, it's about human connection, and I think we need to fix our country and our cities by fixing the pattern on which our cities are laid out. Well, this book, you know, on the one hand, you could say is for the politician or the policy maker or the town planner and urban designer and architect, you know, people who care about how cities function. But I did not write it in a heavy academic approach. It's very accessible, the tone is easy, because cities are not about architects and urban designers and politicians. Again, cities are about people. So I've written this book to inspire people about what Joburg could become, what its future could be, the city of our dreams within our reach. So in my opinion, the book is for every person in Johannesburg, for every South African, and for anybody who actually cares about our city as such.